Office, your favorite commander's YouTube show. If this is your first time watching, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you see the Twitter on the whiteboard, you can go ahead and follow me there. Notice it's on a whiteboard, and only important people have whiteboards. Adam Peters is in the kitchen. He is cooking up again. This time, the final product is bringing Deebo Samuel to this offense, and he does it for a fifth-round pick. This trade is fantastic. Point blank, period. There's no other way to suggest it. I know you were drawn to this video because of the still frame. Is Deebo washed? Well, gotcha. No, he's not washed. This is a great pick, a great decision, rather, from Adam Peters, and you get a wide receiver that can come in here and be a playmaker immediately, serve as a pseudo wide receiver two kind of role to Terry McLaurin, and you do it all for a fifth-round pick. I've been stunned by a little bit of the backlash. Now, I shouldn't be. Social media is an absolute hellhole of a place, but I've been stunned by this backlash of Deebo Samuel not having gas left in the tank. What does that even mean? He's 29. Like, people are talking about him like he's a 35-year-old running back who's touched the ball over 5,000 times in his career. You know, Deebo Samuel has a career 536 touches. That's it. Only one time in his career has he touched the ball over 100 times in a season. And they're like, does he have gas left in the tank? Are you guys insane? What talking point is this? Who put this out into the ether and said, this is how we're going to describe Deebo Samuel? And then for whatever reason, people that are against this trade just decided to take that point and run with it. I know he has an injury history. There's no doubt about that. You can look up those injuries, and he's had a lot of them. But they also haven't caused him to miss a ton of time. This is football. Everybody is going to have their nicks and bruises in football, but he's only really missed significant time in college. You know, a game here, a game there. Do you want that? No, but you have the luxury, and this is why you bring him in, of not having to solely rely on him to be your guy. If that was Terry McLaurin that you're missing, like last year, for example, for 2 or 3 games, your offense might crumble. Not going to be the case here. So I don't understand why this he doesn't have gas left in the tank narrative is picking up steam the way that it is. I think Deebo Samuel has a lot left in the tank. And you are out of your mind if you think that Adam Peters is bringing somebody in here that is going to be a head case. Because that's another way that he has been described, as a head case. Now, there was an issue with the kicker this year in San Francisco. They made up for it. Why do they make up for it? Because they are men. You go through things in the heat of the moment. Once the moment settles, you make up for it. That's kind of how these things work more often than not in sports, or at least the way they should work more often than not in sports. If you're calling him a head case because he wants money, call me a head case. Because you know what I want? I want more money. You know what you want? You want more money, especially if you do your job at a high level. But this is why this pick to me is as good of a pick as it is. Who are you drafting in the 5th round that was going to give you anywhere near the kind of production that you are going to get and expect from Deebo Samuel? No one is the answer. No one. Even just look at who was next. Who is next as wide receiver for Jane Daniels this year? We're going to take Ertz out of it. Ertz was the second leading receiver behind Terry McLaurin, who went over 1,000 yards. Ertz was in the neighborhood of 600, almost touching 700 yards. You know who was next? Olamide Zaccheaus. Bet you didn't guess that one. You were going to say Noah Brown, or you were going to say De'Ami Brown. Both of those would have been wrong. OZ had 45 catches for 506 yards and 3 touchdowns. De'Ami had 30 catches for 308 yards and 1 touchdown. He played great in the postseason. Anyone that denies that is a silly goose. However, he didn't play well enough to justify that he was going to for sure be the wide receiver 2 in 2025. At least he didn't to me. Maybe there's a group of De'Ami truthers out there. I'd love to have him back, but he's going to get paid somewhere else more likely than not. And if it's De'Ami or Deebo, I'm going to take Deebo Samuel. Noah Brown had 35 catches for 453 yards and a touchdown. Of course, that touchdown we all remember very well on the Hail Mary. I'd love Noah Brown to come back here. I've said this entire offseason. Noah Brown is a He's an okay wide receiver 2, but he's a really good wide receiver 3. If he's your third guy and your third option, you're living pretty all right with yourself. The problem was for a majority of this year, he was the second option. But adding Deebo to this offense takes what Cliff Kingsbury can do and kind of accentuates it. By the way, if you're wondering, Denton, what did Deebo Samuel do in 2024? He had 51 catches for 670 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also carried the ball 42 times for 136 yards and a touchdown. He did it all in 15 games. And you got that production for a fifth-round pick. And on top of that, it wasn't even your fifth-round pick. It was the fifth-round pick you got for trading for Marshawn Lattimore, because the Saints sent one back. You traded that pick to go get Deebo Samuel, which means effectively Adam Peters has flipped Jahan Dotson a fourth and a sixth for a cornerback 1. I know some people are kind of still sour on Marshawn Lattimore. Not me. You get a cornerback 1 and you get a wide receiver 2. That's a hell of a playmaker and gives Cliff Kingsbury the ability now to open up the offense a little bit. Now, do I think that Deebo is going to carry the ball for 100 plus times in 2025? No, because I think they're going to draft a running back, a true running back 1. But if he's only carrying the ball, let's just say 3 to 4 times a game, but you're doing it in ways that are explosive and you're not just running right up the gut. I don't really want to see Deebo Samuel run right up the gut. I think that fits perfect. And I think that adds another threat to this offense. You already have Jay Daniels. If you get a new running back number 1 that'll be able to attack the hole and do some of the things that Brian Robinson unfortunately did not last year, the fact that he didn't have 1,000 yards when he had the run threat of Jaden Daniels in the backfield as well is downright almost offensive. Brian Robinson should have had the best year of his career by a country mile, and he didn't. So whoever they get to play running back number 1, you get Austin Eckler. You are now just filling the backfield with playmakers. And again, you did it for a 5th-round pick. And you're going to take on some of his salary. Yes. You're going to extend Terry McLaurin this offseason. Yes. But you still have a bunch of money to address the other needs on this offense, on the defense, building through the trenches, things that I want, things that you want. This is a fantastic move by Adam Peters. And if you're going to call Deebo Samuel's fat, because that's another thing that is being said on social media, I would encourage you to use your brain a little bit. Was he maybe over the weight that was suggested at the beginning of the season? Yes. In fact, he tweeted about that. He said he was 225 pounds. The San Francisco 49ers at the beginning of the year measured him at 215. 10-pound difference. I guess that seems to me a little bit more realistic than some of the numbers that I've seen thrown around, which are in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 pounds, meaning that Deebo Samuel, people are suggesting, was close to about 240 to 250 pounds. Do you understand how insane it is for a professional athlete to put on that kind of bad weight in like a 6-month period? I mean, come on. Can you use your brain a little bit? It would be tough for me to do that in a 6-month period. Now, if I had money, I could take that challenge because your boy loves to eat over here. But the idea that Deebo Samuel put on 25 extra pounds during the course of the NFL season is absolute lunacy. So if that is you, politely shut down your phone and throw it out your window. You don't deserve to be on social media. I'm excited for Deebo Samuel. I'm excited for what he's going to bring to this offense, and I'm excited for 2025. I've had that up to this entire offseason. Jane Daniels got another weapon that makes him incredibly dangerous, and we still got a lot of offseason to go. I can't wait. Adam Peters is in the kitchen, and I got a feeling this is just the appetizer. I appreciate you jumping into my office. Let me know your thoughts on the Deebo Samuel trade down below. Now, respectfully, get out of my office. See ya.